If you're growing, you're always going to be out of your comfort zone. A tree planted in a small pot will only grow as much as the pot allows. To reach its full height, it needs to be transplanted into open soil. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Think of a cyclist pedaling uphill. Though it's harder than coasting downhill, the view and satisfaction at the top are far more rewarding. You must take personal responsibility for your capacity. A smartphone with low storage requires you to manage apps and files efficiently. If you don't, performance will lag, limiting the phone's potential. To grow yourself, you must know yourself. A compass only works if you know where you are to begin with. Self-reflection is the first step to finding direction in life. You cannot change your life until you change something you do daily. A stream erodes rock not by force, but by its consistent flow. Small daily habits have the power to shape big changes over time. People who don't make decisions in life let life make decisions for them. A leaf floating on the water is carried by the current. Without intentional direction, your life is controlled by external forces. Everything you now do is something you once couldn't. When learning to play the piano, at first, even hitting the right keys is difficult. Over time, practice turns impossibility into skill. Your life today is a result of your thinking yesterday. A garden reflects how you cared for it in the past. If you planted seeds and watered regularly, you'll have flowers today. The greatest mistake we make is living in constant fear that we will make one. A cat hesitates to cross a new surface, but after taking the first step, it realizes there's no danger. Likewise, fear often holds us back unnecessarily. Successful people do daily what unsuccessful people do occasionally. Brushing your teeth every day is a small habit that prevents big problems like cavities. Consistency matters in both health and success. We overestimate the event and underestimate the process. Baking a cake isn't just about the final product. It's about gathering the ingredients, measuring, mixing, and patiently baking that leads to the delicious result. The difference between average and achieving people is their perception of and response to failure. A bird learning to fly often falls many times, but each failure brings it closer to success. We must unlearn what we have learned. A GPS needs to be updated to work accurately. Holding onto old maps won't help you navigate new roads. Change is inevitable, growth is optional. A river changes its course over time due to natural erosion. Whether you adapt to life's changes or not is a choice. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. If it rains during a picnic, you can either sulk or dance in the rain. Your mindset determines how you experience the event. You cannot manage time, but you can manage yourself. A sundial can't control the movement of the sun, but it measures time effectively by positioning itself correctly. So, you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. A path worn into the ground by repetitive steps shows how daily actions create long-term impacts. The first person you lead is you. A dog on a leash needs to follow its owner, but first, the owner needs to know the direction they want to go. Dreams don't work unless you do. A seed won't grow into a plant without water, sunlight, and care. Similarly, dreams need effort and dedication to come to life. The size of your thinking determines the size of your results. A fish in a small tank will remain small, but when moved to a larger tank, it can grow to its full potential. People don't determine your potential, you do. A kite can only soar to the heights allowed by the length of its string. You decide how far to let it fly. Growth always means change. A caterpillar has to change into a butterfly to reach its full potential, signifying that transformation is necessary for growth. The first step toward success is taken when you refuse to be a captive of the environment in which you first find yourself. A plant in a shadowy corner of a room will wither unless it is moved into the sunlight. Your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. Two paper airplanes made from the same material fly differently depending on how they are thrown, representing how mindset can change outcomes. What you focus on expands. A magnifying glass concentrates sunlight on a specific spot, intensifying its heat. Focus in life, like the glass, sharpens your results. The greatest enemy of tomorrow's success is today's success. A tortoise may rest on its victory lap, but if it stops too soon, it might lose the race. Continued effort is necessary for sustained success. If you don't try, you forfeit your chance at success. A bird that never attempts to fly will never know it had the wings to soar. Hopes and dreams cannot be just left in our hearts. They need to be pursued. A boat needs wind in its sails to move forward. Dreams, like boats, need action to propel them. The only guarantee for failure is to stop trying. A river continuously flows, carving its way through mountains. Persistence in life leads to breakthroughs. The more you do, the more you can do. A weightlifter can increase the weight they lift gradually over time, but only through regular training. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. A potter cannot reshape a hardened clay vessel, but they can take fresh clay and mold something new. You don't overcome challenges by making them smaller, but by making yourself bigger. A tree doesn't shrink to withstand a storm, it grows stronger roots. The greatest gap in life is the gap between knowing and doing. A parachute is only useful if you pull the cord. Knowledge without action is like having a parachute but not using it. The key to everything is your energy. A solar panel only generates electricity when exposed to sunlight, symbolizing how your energy drives results. Momentum is the great exaggerator. A rolling snowball gathers more snow as it goes, symbolizing how success can build upon itself when you have momentum. The higher you go, the harder it is to stay grounded. A balloon rises higher the more air it contains, but if not anchored, it can drift away. Success requires humility to stay grounded. The larger your vision, the larger your life. A telescope allows you to see distant stars, but first, you need to aim high to know they are there. Growth requires change, and change is uncomfortable. A crab must shed its shell to grow, even though the process leaves it vulnerable. Preparation creates confidence. A pilot reviews a flight plan before taking off. Knowing the route provides the confidence needed to navigate. You either step forward into growth or backward into safety. A hermit crab moves into a bigger shell as it grows. Staying in its old shell would limit its capacity. Success is not an event, it's a journey. A snail moves slowly but steadily, proving that progress, no matter the pace, leads to success. Leaders see more, and they see before. A lighthouse shines its light far ahead, warning ships of dangers they can't yet see. The secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. A sundial keeps time by the sun, showing that daily routines shape the overall outcome. Do what you can with what you have. A spider builds its web with the materials it finds, proving that resourcefulness is key to success. If you want to grow, give up something. A bird leaving the nest gives up its security but gains the freedom of flight. Passion provides the fuel for your dreams. A campfire burns brightly when fed with wood. Passion, like wood, sustains your drive. You cannot add value to others until you first value yourself. A watering can must first be filled before it can nourish plants. You can't have a great day without a great mindset. A mirror reflects what it sees. How you frame your day mentally will reflect on your experience. Action is the real measure of intelligence. A beehive is constantly buzzing with activity, showing that intelligence is about productivity and action, not just thinking. You get out of life what you put into it. A windmill can only generate power if there is wind. Likewise, life rewards effort with results.